Is Tom joining us? Okay.
I wish he would, because he's actually on the committee and the treasurer is an important role. Inez, I don't know what's going on, but maybe we try to find out. In any event, a warm welcome to Gordana, a warm welcome to Asan. So let's get started with who's doing what. Lily, would you like to continue giving us Easy Speak support?
Sure.
Pardon me?
Yes.
Ah, super. Hey, excellent. Okay, and Asan, I understand you have been brought on board to help us with all of our websites and internet and things like that. I don't know, Lily, would you be offended if he was IT support?
No, that's how it was until now, so I don't see why that should be changed, but we don't have any access until somebody puts us back in the committee, because...
I will do that immediately. I was waiting for what we decided here. Yep. So, Asan, you will be accepting the role as our technical guru, huh?
Hey.
Okay, congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Really, as noted, I will update this on Easy Speak. I don't see Alois here, and Alois, I actually was hoping would show up because of his institutional knowledge, but let's just play it by ear and take it with what we have. We seem to be missing Nicole now, and she is a vital member of this committee. I don't know what happened. If anybody might have...
Gordana, if you can, excuse me for one second, Gordana, if you can see anybody in the waiting room, maybe you can let them in. Maybe there's still people waiting to
Of course, yeah, but no, they're not.
Okay.
Okay, now she is. Okay.
She will have to log on again. Oh, she's there.
Yeah, there she is.
She's there.
Okay, Nicole, as soon as we see and hear you, I will proceed. Perfect. Okay, in your absence, we have officially welcomed Lily to the committee as Easy Speak support and Isan as IT support. So now we go into the roles and responsibilities. Why don't we start with our new member of the committee, and maybe Nicole, what sort of role did you envisage for Asan?
Well, as, oops, sorry. My computer is very sensitive today. So as Vice President for Public Relations, one of my aims was to try and update the website in cooperation with Lily. And also I thought Ishan could help us there to maybe give it a little bit of peps or whatever, remove the picture which is there. Anyway, I thought of working on the website with Lily and with Ishan. I also wanted to work on the Gmail account and the Drive, but that I managed to do by myself, which means that I removed...
Okay, if you don't mind, Nicole, could we get to that a little bit later on?
Okay, so as I said, the Gmail account was the second aim, but that has been solved.
Okay, so when you talk about the website, you're talking about the TM EDU site, right? You're not talking about Easy Speak, because
No.
Because there are a few things on Easy Speak that also need somehow to be changed. If you look at our homepage, it's not totally up to date. I was wondering if you'd be willing to tackle that as well.
You're talking to me or to Ishan?
Yeah, to both of you, yeah. There's some things we have to change also on the homepage of Easy Speak.
I'm not particularly familiar with Easy Speak, and I'm not an IT person, so there's limited things I can do about.
Okay. Well, just for your information, if people click on links, say for example from Toastmasters International, they will go to this really old website with Valerie having a picture on it. But sometimes they find us other ways and they go to the homepage of Easy Speak, which is why I would like to see that changed and updated. Okay. All right. So we've got you covered for the moment, Asan, and I look forward to a close collaboration with Nicole and actually the entire committee.
Sure.
Gordana, as secretary, please don't be put off by what you heard at the corporate officer training. It sounds like you have lots and lots and lots of work. You don't have to keep meeting minutes for every single meeting we have, whereby you are expected to provide us meetings from this committee meeting. So I hope you're furiously taking notes.
I am.
Okay? And other than that, we really welcome you on board with our
Thank you.
totally.
Brilliant,
I'm going-
all of you. Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah, looking forward.
Maria
Okay.
Teresa, if I may, just something you
Certainly.
said about Easy Speak about the website, that we work in a democratic manner, and that is that my view of it is that Ishan, Lily, and I, we're going to work on it, and then we're going to submit to the committee what we plan to do. And I think it has to be a collegial decision, you know, what we do with the website or what we do with Easy Speak.
Okay, I appreciate that. Okay. I hope you took note of that, Gordana. Democracy rules. In any event, let's move to does anybody else have any comments about their roles and responsibilities? It's a shame that Tom is not here because I would have preferred to kind of have him on board from the very beginning. I understand there was some sort of a handover from Brigitte to Tom. Now, he won't be quite so important at the moment, except for some things pertaining to our bank account. But in September, when we have to do our dues renewal, he will be very, very busy with that, taking care of those arrangements. All right, let me go over to my email and then scroll down to see what our next points are. It's going to take me a few seconds.
I can remind you. I have it right in front of me.
Perfect. Wonderful.
So the first was composition of executive committee. We covered that, roles and responsibilities, which we also did. So the third point is who assumes Zoom master function at Toastmaster meetings, including backup.
Thank you, Gordana. So who is going to do it?
The president's job, no? Or not to just, sorry, you're muted, Melanie, sorry.
Well, okay, I will take on this role.
I just thought it's, yeah, because Tristan was before, right? Not to step on anyone's feet.
Okay, Melanie. Excuse me, Melanie, I just have a question. Since you're sort of going between Cyberstorf and headquarters, is that going to present you problems?
I'll try to get the once a month Tuesday to work from HQ. I can
and
ask for it.
The other thing I had in the parenthesis, I suggest we have a backup. We have somebody else who could, in your absence, you know, people get sick, people take leave. There are times where you can't go to every single Toastmaster meeting. I was also going to suggest we have somebody officially on board as a backup. Do we have any suggestions?
This is strictly to Zoom. This is strictly to get Zoom and working these days, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I thought Tom was going to do it, but I will talk to Tristan what you actually need to do. So, I mean, Gordana, did you do anything special, or did he just say you're in control of the meeting? Like, does he go into Zoom? I'm going to ask him.
So right now, he because he started a meeting, he just gave me control, and I just have to admit people. So if I cancel, if I have to leave early, I have to give the control to somebody else. Otherwise, the meeting. That's my understanding. I've never been. Yeah.
Can
Lily wants the floor. I think Lily wants the floor.
Yeah, I've done a lot of Zoom meetings and been admin and Zoom master. And the point, for example, if this meeting suddenly crashed, as it was on a free account and after 40 minutes it's closed, it has to be reopened by the owner of the account. So when Tristan logged in, and that's why it's a good reason to have Tom to do it, because he has the access data, but I think Melanie has that as well. It's basically you have to log in to the email account that Zoom is registered under. And you have to have that password. So whoever gets that access rights to open the meeting has that information. But I think it's the same as what is to log into the YouTube account to upload the videos and for the Gmail account. So maybe Nicole also has that same access. But this is, I'm talking from outside of the committee. I assume that that's how it's been operating until now. And I've got the experience with Zoom, and it's a matter of the access rights that needs to be clarified.
Okay, so there's no truth to the rumor that Rena was going to be doing this.
I had thought that Tristan was showing her how to do it, but I don't know. Let me send him a message and see if he would tell me.
Oh, Tom is coming.
Who?
Oh,
Tom.
Tom is here.
Super, super. We can ask then Tom directly if he's prepared to assume those duties.
Hi, Tom.
He probably thought he can't hear us until he's probably thought it starts a 1:15 like the regular tech does.
Hi, Tom.
We
Hello,
see you.
Tom.
You're
Hi,
muted.
we already have, first of all, I'd like to warmly welcome you on board on the committee in your function as treasurer. But in the meantime, we have a lively discussion going about in the future, who's going to be Zoom master? Are you going to be involved with that perhaps?
No, preferably not.
So that's a definite no.
Then
Yes,
Tom, I'll do it. I will do it. I will do it, Tom. If
Yeah, but
it's just a
Melanie,
matter of
you need a
training one
backup.
time.
You
You need
a
to back up, Melanie.
If Lily's
You
willing
need to
to
back up.
offer, are you willing to offer to be Melanie's backup, Lily?
Yeah, sure. I saw Ehsan also volunteering or putting his hand up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll always send you all a message on WhatsApp at least 24 hours ahead of time, but I intend on being at every meeting. It's doable. It's doable. So,
Okay,
so
well,
Gordana, Maria Teresa, write that down that I will be the Zoom master from now on, and hopefully we'll move to hybrid.
Okay, so Gordana, would you be nice enough to tell me the next point on our agenda?
Yes. The fourth point is issues concerning the Toastmasters email account, including access, arrangement of folders on the G Drive, and focal points for queries.
Okay, I think this is Nicole's area. And Nicole, at this point, would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, I've just received an email from Rena. I don't understand. Hello, everyone. I participate on one. Oh,
I think-
Rena is saying that she's trying to get in.
She's there.
She's right here.
She's
yeah.
already there.
Oh, she's there.
Rena.
Okay, good.
Hello, Rena. Your
We're
earphone,
doing
your
great today.
microphone is off.
Look at us. We are 9 people. I love it. It's more than the meetings.
Okay, so Nicole.
Okay, so yes, sorry. So, but now I lost the. Yeah, I had the agenda in front of me. Now I lost it. Okay. What was the point there? Because.
So the fourth point, we are talking about the email account. So access to it, arrangement of folders, and focal point for it. I think maybe we should start by saying what is the email and the password for everybody, although it was sent by email, but still.
Lily, Lily had a lot to do with that as well, just from historic institutional knowledge, right, Lily?
Yeah, Nicole has the access now. So she's got everything.
Okay.
So
Well, it's my understanding that everybody has access if you know the account and the password.
Right.
And I
Yes,
actually, Nicole, don't be worried. It was me this morning who thought they wanted to try it out before today's meeting. So in case you got a security alert, that was me.
So, well, yeah, no, so that people understand. Before, there was a two-step security on the account, which meant that even if you had the password, you could not get in because you had to receive a code on the phone. It was linked to the phone. I de-linked the email from the phone. Now there's no two-step security anymore. So anybody who has the account and the password can access the Gmail account and the G Drive, because the G Drive is linked to the email account, right?
Right.
So that's solved. Now, my question was, who does what with that email? Because on that email we receive, I've seen that, and Lily knows it, because she was always CC'd on it. We receive a number of messages very regularly. Some are not that important, some are important. Especially people wanted to get in touch with us. So that not too many people start answering the same email. It would be good to know who is going to take care of the requests that are sent by people wanted to join or wanted to. Is that the Vice President for Education who does it? The Vice President for Membership? I don't want to be involved personally. I will not answer such emails because it's not my role.
Of course.
I can do it as a secretary, but if somebody else think somebody else should do it, I'm also open.
Gordana, could we maybe do this in coordination? Because a lot of this is involving some of the things that people want to know about Toastmasters.
Sure,
And
sure.
I mean, I think I have the background for that, not to diminish what
Yes.
you want to do.
No.
They might ask you some things that you know that you're
Right,
relatively new.
right. That's
So if we could do that perhaps together.
super.
Great
Yeah,
idea.
no. You
Maybe
can,
Gordana
or you
weeds
can
out the
email
ones
the.
for you.
Yeah, or you can do the email stuff, and I can just take care of the folders because I'm responsible for.
Nicole, help me. I was on this Gmail this morning, and it was not obvious to me where the folders were. How
Well,
do you
this
get
is the
these
second point.
folders?
Let me finish with the first point. Maybe Ines should be in the picture because Ines is Vice President for Membership. So it would be maybe good that she has the names of people who are sending queries so that maybe if she wants to push them to become members, that she, you know what I mean, that she's in the picture. But
I can give some comments on what you said, Nicole. The way it worked at the moment, up to now, is that when I saw these messages, which were sent to either first by Lily and also by you later on, I have then looked at them. They indicated that they want to be coming to the meeting as a guest, or they want to get to know what the Toastmasters is all about. In any case, I have immediately then written to them when there was an email or a telephone number, and I also have copied it to Maria Teresa, because I know from previous suggestions from Maria Teresa that she wanted to send the information on inviting them as a guest, giving them the ID number of the meeting, etc. So I was very much aware of that. So that's how also Maria Teresa was put into picture. So it worked up to now pretty well. Of course, there was a situation where Maria Teresa was faster than I, or I had not seen a message which Maria Teresa had also written to the people, but it was also not much of it was not a problem because there were not contradictory issues in these emails sent. Up to now, it worked perfectly well.
You broke up. Ines, I didn't hear you. You broke up at one point.
What didn't you understand, for example?
I missed something about emails, that I was too quick or I was too fast or I was ahead of you or something.
The emails, sometimes you had sent earlier on an email to the people who were asking for information, and you invited them to the meeting, which came after I had sent them a message, which is also not a problem because there were no contradictory issues involved. So I think it would be good that somehow Maria Teresa and myself are getting these queries or inquiries about the Toastmasters meeting, and we are in touch. I can call her, email her, whatever time it is in the middle of the night, and we can take care of it.
But
Ines, you do your best work at midnight.
No, but Ines, since now both of you have access to the Gmail account, you will see whether Maria Teresa was faster than you or whether you were faster than her. Before you didn't have access to the Gmail account, but now
absolutely.
that you do, you see what email has been sent and what, so there you can coordinate. But what I talked about with Ishan was also the fact that this Gmail account is a bit of a mess. I removed, I must say, I took the initiative of removing about, I don't know, 400 emails. No, because these were automatic emails that were sent every time you you had a meeting, or emails sent by Google alerts when somebody was trying to get into the Gmail account, and so on and so on. So all these emails are removed, but we still have about 500 emails in there. So there's a bit of cleaning to do, and in the G drive as well. There are different ways of doing it, but again, I wouldn't want to remove things in there which you want to keep. What we have to do, and that was I discussed with Ishan, is maybe to create archives so that if there's something we want to know in 2 years, we know it's in the archives, but it's not right there on the email. And we have to create folders. For instance, we can create, like Gordana said, we can create a query folder so that the queries is automatically, or not automatically, that I don't know, put into a folder so that we know where all the queries are and where the people who sent emails to us are. It's a question of organizing the email a little bit, and the drive would have to be organized also. Since Lily was also very much involved in that, I think that it would be good that she remains involved if she wants to, and we see what can be removed, what shouldn't be removed. And Gordana, maybe, it would be good if Lily and I and Ishan as an IT specialist do it, because there's some institutional memory in there involved for the moment, for cleaning up
no problem.
what we remove, what we don't remove.
Yes,
So,
and once it's well organized, I know where to put the records and everything. Yeah.
And then you take over. What do you say, Lily?
Yes, I just wanted to point out, when you're talking about replying, then you are already implying that the responses go from that Gmail account. So
yeah.
So when you're going into the account and you see the email there, when you respond there, so in the early history of the emails, you'll see that I suggested that anybody who is using that account uses the automatic signature which I put in there, but add your name and position so that we always know who is sending the emails. Otherwise, it all just goes out of VIC Toastmasters, and you don't actually know who was it, who sent that email out. So please, I didn't
think of that. Yeah, you're right.
I do recommend maintaining the Gmail account for the responses. In other words, you go in, you see if there's a mail, a query about membership, and you answer it from within that account, and then you have a whole history of all of your correspondence. But be sure when you click reply, on top of the signature, which just says VIC Toastmasters, add your name and position so that everybody knows who sent that email out.
Gordana, can you write this down in case not everybody, because I have to check that. I've never done that before. I've got to check that.
Yes, so basically when you reply, you have to write your name and position.
Yeah, but not at the bottom of the mail.
But my question is then, if Ines goes in and looks at it, will she see that a reply has been sent?
That's the whole point. If you're using it from the account, then you will see it in the responses on the Gmail account. Otherwise, you don't know who responds to what.
There's the little thing that Lee's saying that I'm not used to, where you put your signature when you reply. There's a button. I'm not familiar with that, but
actually, the other thing that
I suggest something?
Can I just finish this? What I also used to do, I always received the VIC Toastmasters Gmail account in the reply. So whatever replies I sent, when I learned this at a job I had 20 years ago, my boss always put our own address in the CC. And I thought, what on earth for? But actually, it's very practical, because then you have a full chain, even in the inbox, of all the mail that's gone in and out. Maybe that makes the mailbox too full. Maybe you don't like that. But it does give you the full record of all the correspondence that goes on. If you put CC to that Gmail account, then you get a response and you see straight away it's been answered.
may I suggest that we centralize the correspondence when it comes to membership issues in one way or the other? I'm thinking of, I would like to get your views on this, that our secretary, that Gordana, could look at the emails on this account, say once per day or a couple of times per week. And then you would actually see what type of inquiries or messages there are. And if you could alert myself and Maria Teresa, for example, when it comes to membership issues, not general issues.
Exactly.
And I would then coordinate with Maria Teresa the answers to be given or context to be made. And I would, in my reply, CC everybody on the committee, or actually only send a CC to this email account, so that we have a record of what is being said, what the answer is, and it goes back to the email account. Because we also have to be careful that not everybody goes on this account and, you know, it becomes, it could be tedious, and also.
I agree. And that's not to cut you off, Ines, but it's a great idea. Let's go with that, because I don't see the influx of, 20 emails a day. It's, what is it? Anybody have an average? Is it 2 a week if we even have that many? Can somebody tell me?
Right.
Queries? No.
It's not that much. It could be different. There are different inquiries, but I'm just looking at those which are important for memberships attainments or people who like to come to the meetings. And this will concern Maria Teresa and myself.
Okay, let's leave it at that. It's done. Perfect. You've hit the nail on the head. Gordana, you are going to filter the emails, and then whoever has to take action, if they will, and then it'll be CC'd back to the actual email, the Gmail account, for tracing purposes. So
what do you think,
also create a folder. It would be good to create a folder of those queries so that
then we
know
all right,
who tried to get
Nicole,
in touch with them.
I feel this has still gone over my head. How do you get to these folders from the Gmail account?
On the side, folders. From any account is folders.
This is a technical thing. I think we.
Okay. All right. No, I mean, if I'm supposed to be looking at things, then I want to know where to find them.
Well, on
you create them yourself. You just right click and say you create them yourself.
No, let's be clear first. I mean, I will send you the email. So if there is somebody who is interested for membership, I'll send it to Ines. I'll send the email to her, and then I will put it in the folder. So you will have the email received as an email. So don't worry about the folder. That's my job. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
If you keep track of your emails, you should receive all the inquiries, and you shouldn't be bored, worried about.
We have to simplify things as much as we can.
And for the other folders, Lily, Ishan, and I could try and sort out what's in the email now, and we'll create folders that can be very easy to understand, and put things in folders or put things in archives, and we'll tell you what we've done. What do you say, Lily? We do that?
Yeah, I also wanted to point out that the forwarding function operates, but you have to accept the forwarding. You don't have to go physically into the Gmail account every day to see, oh, were there any mails today? If you do a forwarding order, then you will see and you'll know immediately as soon as an email arrives, and you don't have to check when there's nothing there.
Right.
Thanks for the reminder, Lily.
I had that set up, and I'm not on that anymore because Nicole has taken me off that. But Gordana, if you do that, and anybody else who wants to see the mails that go in or out of that account, then you can, if you use the CC for the ones that go out, then you will see all of the exchange that happens on that account, and you don't even have to log into the account separately. But you do have to accept the forwarding order, which is what never happened in the past. I was the only one getting them, even though I had asked 5 committee members to receive the mails from the account. So that's up to you to decide now whether you go only through the account or you send it extra to the person and they send it from their own account and CC the Gmail account. That works. Both of them work. And yeah, for sure, we can do that. We can take time separately to go through the historical stuff and funnel it into relevant folders, Nicole. We can do that.
Yeah, but since we all have access to the Gmail account, anybody who wants to be CC'd can be CC'd, and anybody who wants to stop to be CC'd can stop to be CC'd. You know, that makes it easier.
Okay. Can we go to the next point?
Next point.
All right. The next point is scheduling the meeting room.
Did you all see Tristan's message about how he was offering to reserve it for us until the end of the year? We have
it was
to
done
follow up. Sorry?
It was done already from someone else. Do you know who actually reserved the room?
Tristan did it. Tristan said he did it.
No, he said he was going to do it.
Tristan will do it. He has.
Okay, then we should make sure that we follow up that Tristan does it for this year, and then make note that somebody should start maybe already in October scheduling it for next year. We should.
Rena, would you like to do that? Would Rena like to do that?
Sorry?
Rena.
Do the room reservation. Okay. Okay, I will do the room reservation. Can you hear me?
But only as of January 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second.
Yeah, but
fourth
I
Tuesday.
suggest you start in October asking for it, because if you wait until the last minute, your chances maybe are diminished. Already ask at the end of the last quarter of this year to reserve the meeting room.
But Rena will take care of it, no?
Okay.
Rena,
okay.
you're on board with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Next
All
point.
right. So the next point is status of hybrid meetings.
Yeah, I wanted to let everybody know I have not added any additional meetings as of August on EasySpeak because it was not clear to me what our status was. Are we going hybrid or not?
Tom, maybe you could take on that issue because you have an overview of if we could even do hybrid. I would need your assistance. I could do Zoom, but you show me how to set up the cameras in the room. If we do hybrid, it would be great, but I would love to see everybody face to face. But I can get in touch.
I can't hear you, Melanie. I don't know if it's me or you.
Oh, is that better, everybody?
I can
We
hear
can
you,
hear
Melanie.
you
No
now.
problem.
I think it's probably
Okay.
Better.
I'll turn up my volume here.
Yeah,
Volume.
thank you.
How's that? Would it be possible to find out, Inez, somebody else was in contact with the man who does the VIC clubs, or would someone like me to do that?
I got the mail from Arixa, which said that we can have access since the 1st of July. So I was almost tempted to try and come in for this meeting today, but I've got another meeting at 3. So I didn't. But it seems to me that in terms of access, at least for now, that we
Shouldn't
are
be a
now
problem.
permitted again to come.
Shouldn't be a problem. However, I think there are a couple of members who would like to stay on a hybrid.
No.
function.
What do you mean stay on hybrid?
Some
Stay
people
offline?
who do not have, for example, their ground pass yet. There are 3 or 4 people who would like to stay as a member for the time being. However, because of their contractual situation, which is not finalized yet, they cannot come in, for example, in July. I do not know how it is in August, but I think we should also give them a chance. So this hybrid format could be helpful.
And for those retirees that don't want to come in.
Sorry?
And for the retirees that maybe don't want to come in that Tuesday.
Yes,
specifically.
exactly. I'm not all that keen, which is why I'd like to get an answer. When are we going hybrid? As of August? Melanie,
We can do it actually already in July.
Yeah.
We can do it in July.
But do we
the
want
next
to do it
meeting.
in July? Do we want to do it in July?
Next
Excuse
Tuesday,
me.
if you want to do a trial run, I'll get together with Tom. Tom, will you be available on Tuesday the 13th? And we'll set up a hybrid where we have Zoom, the camera, and we can ask Tristan to help us too.
Yeah, you'll need some.
I can also come a bit earlier.
Yeah, we can try.
Yeah. Because
Nicole, what do you think?
Now, I have a technical question. Are club meetings, I know meetings are allowed and so on, but are club meetings allowed?
They are allowed.
Okay.
Okay, Melanie, I should change Easy Speak to turn our July as of the next week into hybrid meetings.
I think that'd be a great idea. Let's just try it. In the worst case scenario, there's 3 or 4 of us sitting there on separate laptops if it doesn't work. And just like this, except we're all in one room and we take turns to talk, turning off our microphones. So whoever can be on board for the 13th, Tom, Gordana,
I'll be there.
And Luna, active staff, Ishan. And if you're allowed in the building, by all means, Maria Teresa, Lily, Nicole, Inez, come in.
Well, don't we have to make sure that there are only a certain number of people in the room? Don't those rules still apply?
You can have
Not more than 100 people.
Yeah.
Not more than
We're fine
100.
indoors.
Okay.
We already had our first team meeting yesterday. I was without a mask. The person next to me wanted to wear a mask.
Are they going to ask for a certificate or for a test at the entrance?
They're not allowed to. They're not allowed to. We're
okay,
not
so
Australia.
people who are not vaccinated and are not tested can come in.
Wear a mask.
Oh, we have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
To come into the building through checkpoint, you have to wear a mask in all the common areas. The elevators only allowed 4 people. But meetings, yeah, there is still a 1 meter distance and they suggest you wear a mask, but I didn't. I'm a rebel.
Okay, I'll stay on a hybrid meeting then, personally. The thing is, I'm in favor of keeping the hybrid meetings, making them a little bit maybe more technical, in the sense that arranging so that people who are not in the room can see and we can see them, especially for guests, so that we don't have to pick them up, and because that could be and for maybe the committee meetings, because it's a bit more flexible, I think, when we have this kind of meetings. So I would not remove Zoom totally, personally.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we should remain.
Have to stop.
And Tristan paid till the end of the year anyway, and Brigitte reimbursed him. So let's keep the Zoom. I mean, we have it, let's use it.
Absolutely.
And like we said, if everybody's present and we don't need it, we shut it off. Once I know how to do it, it's a matter of just setting up a laptop and a projector and the camera on us.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. I just need to be showed once. I write it all down, but I'd like to do a trial run on the 13th. I've just added it to my calendar. So all hands on deck.
Okay, so point noted that as of next July the 13th, we go hybrid. Okay, thank you.
Point taken. All right, next point is communication. Who needs to know what, when, and distribution lists?
Yeah, one of the reasons I mentioned this is that I noticed there are all kinds of duplications of things that are on our communication. For example, Gordana, I ask you, do you want your email to be sent to your IEE account or to your Hotmail account? You answered and you said Hotmail. Some people will still send it to your IEE account. Tom, I ask you, you don't want your email sent to your private email. You want it sent to IAEA. So let's try to get some sort of standardized distribution where we're not duplicating and using the wrong IDs.
A lot has to do with which email account is being given at a time when the registration was done.
Yeah, and a lot of that is incorrect on Easy Speak and on Toastmasters International.
So it's up to the person to correct their address in Easy Speak, and if you use Easy Speak for your communication, for example, like now when you add me and
Lily, could you speak a bit louder?
Hang on.
If you're not speaking, please take off your microphone. Everybody mute themselves, please, if you're not speaking.
So what was my point? Yeah, when you correct your address in Easy Speak and use Easy Speak for your communication, then you will get the emails. And when you add Ehsan and myself to the committee, then we will also get the information for the committee meetings, and we will see that on the calendar, and we will also be able to enter on the Zoom and see the records on the meeting itself. And if everybody just corrects their email address on EasySpeak, then and you use the EasySpeak for sending the messages, then it will all go correctly. And it just has to be, the membership just has to be kept updated on EasySpeak. Keep the current members current and make the past members past, and then they'll get the messages that they need to get. Marie-Therese, you're muted. We don't hear you.
My understanding, Gordana, you want to have your email addressed to your private account, and Tom, you want your email to your IAEA account. That also has to be changed on Toastmasters International, but I'll be responsible for that.
Can I make a point?
Sure.
The emails. I have seen that there was, of course, a difference in the emails being given at the time when people registered. And I have respected that, and I have given, at the time of registration, this email account or this email address to Toastmasters International. The reason why I think it's useful, for example, not to change the email accounts on Toastmasters International is that when people change their jobs or duty station, they will have different addresses, and we are getting people will not be able to be reached by Toastmasters International or by anybody, and I think we have to be careful with that. So when we want to change the email addresses on EasySpeak, I think that's another issue because it's actually localized. It's within Vienna, it is among us. With Toastmasters International, I would not change that.
At TMI, you can actually have two email addresses. You can have both, but it only uses the one when it sends mail to you. I used to have both addresses on my TMI account.
Because especially in an environment as the UN, the mobility is very high, relatively speaking, and we need to be reached at all time.
I'm glad I'm retired. Lily, when you moved from the country into Vienna, did you go to Toastmasters International and change your address?
Yes.
Okay, all right. But see, most members wouldn't be aware that they have to do that. Okay, all right, let's continue.
So we leave it to everybody changes their own settings if they want to, right? To make
on
sure.
on EasySpeak.
On EasySpeak, correct.
Not on Toastmasters International, because that would be very confusing at one point.
The next question is, there are plenty of people that have not even provided members that have not even provided necessarily an email on EasySpeak. Okay, let's continue.
All right, so the next point is status of Toastmasters bank account.
Tom, I hear something that pertains to you. Do you have any information to report on this?
No, not yet, because well, in theory, I'm the treasurer, but I think in practice, I will be more as of 1st of September, because we will need some time for the formal handover. So right now, I cannot give you any details on that.
I did speak to Brigitte, everyone. She has gone through some knee surgery, and she has to presently be in the VIC, and she's on some physical therapy right now. So when she is back, Tom, Brigitte, and myself will meet together. We're going to go to the bank because it's actually signing. Tom is the main person, but he has to have a backup. So in the meantime, in the interim, we're still referring to Brigitte, and Tom will pick a date, September, as far as I'm concerned. Between the summer and her in rehab, let's not stress, unless we have brand new members and lots of money, but Brigitte will still do it because she's working from home and then doing rehab.
Super.
Okay, next point.
Sorry. The next point is financial report, which I assume we should leave it for later as well.
This was my point. We were promised, at least at our AGM, to get a financial report, and we never did. and then it was promised for later on, and we never got it. So I'd like to find out when we will be presented with financial reports.
Tom, maybe this could be your task, just to ask Brigitte when she could formally hand it over to you, and you keep it short and simple and just tell us the bottom line. And the actual report can be updated, Beatrice, so we can keep it somewhere in the shared file.
I would just basically like to know, I think every member has a right to know where our money is going. And secondly, I'd like to see how healthy are we in terms of surplus and whatever. I think that's important. And we shouldn't
definitely. I just don't want to go through every item and take up time
no,
like that.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think we should present a report to the entire membership.
Yeah, I'm sure Brigitte will do this. Let her get through this physical therapy, and then Tom, it's your baby.
Yeah. So as I said, as of September, I will take full responsibility for all these things, and then we will see.
I have a point related to that. No, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tom.
I mean, in principle, it's quite clear. We basically have a lot of money. For a club, we do have too much money. Yeah, I think that's the main thing to observe.
Well,
other than that, I mean, I'm
is,
pretty sure that the books are okay.
Tom, there are 2 points that are coming that are going to take a bit of money out of our account.
Okay.
Tristan suggested that we have in September Heuriger, or call it what you want, a meeting outside so that we take leave of him because he'll be around, although not officially or half officially, it doesn't matter. But anyway, that we have a Heuriger meeting and the club would pay for it, or at least partly for it, outside the UN. Good. And also the second point is, and Maria Teresa, who's disappeared, was the one who reminded us, we have the 30th anniversary of the club coming up. So it will be for us committed to decide what we do for that 30th anniversary. And that will come in October or November. Or do we want to mix that with the end of the year festivities?
I think we should. We should have I can make some suggestions because I have lots of connections. I do all the party planning for most of Cybersdorf and some of the agency events. So if I could send to the executive committee different locations in and around Vienna, you know, we're best friends with the Wieninger Horrigan up on Nussberg. It's beautiful, the view over Vienna. And then we could actually have it all hosted by the club and combine it as one. You know, that maybe the celebrating 30 years, celebrating, you know, Toastmasters, maybe even something like that. That would be really fun in September because
I think. But
look
there
at the
are
10-day weather forecast.
So you want to, because there's a money question also, is if we do that in September, then September is coming very, very soon. And you want to have together this Heuriger and with Tristan leaving and the 30th anniversary of the club, we would do all that together. That's the point.
I think we could because we do Christmas separate. And then maybe the club would just pay for all the drinks and everyone buys their own food.
No, because Maria Teresa was saying, and that needs a bit of organization, that for that anniversary, we don't invite all the clubs around because there are more and more of them. And but that we invite former members. So if we start inviting former members, September is very close. So we have to start planning right now. I mean, sending people messages to make sure they're around and so on and so forth. So there's the money question and the organization question. What I wanted to deal with today was only the money question related.
Okay, give me a budget, and then we decide if we can spend. We only spend that much. No decorations are necessary, and something really urig and quaint that represents Austria, but still, you know, Vienna, that we all can get there with public.
Hey, wait a second, Melanie. I'm not doing that on my own. It's a committee business. We decide.
I would definitely send it out to you, and you guys say if you like these options. But Tom and Brigitte can tell me a good budget. You know, are we looking at spending 200, or are we looking at spending 400? Wine and water don't cost that much.
How many people will we have? And yeah, there are many.
The whole active members and then past members, but they're not all going to come.
Can I suggest something? We could form a committee, a group of 3 or 4 people who could then take care of all the logistics and proposals for a program, etc., looking at the place, and we could then report it to the committee at the next meeting or the meeting afterwards, after that, maybe in August. And I'm willing to be in that committee. So 3 people would be able, maybe myself, who else? Melanie,
Melanie anyway.
Nicole,
Melanie.
with the 3 of us, we can pull it off.
But
Can I
Maria
be on the
Teresa,
committee too? Can I be, because I think I know several of the older members. On my next comment, did I misunderstand? Are we combining Tristan's leaving with the 30? It's not Nicole 30, it's 35-year anniversary. We chartered in
See?
1986. 86.
we're older than I
Believe
thought.
Believe
I
it
think
or
we
not.
just invite him. We don't have to have a goodbye to him. He's going to have enough goodbyes. So with the
Say it
agency.
again.
He's
Say it
fine.
again.
I said, we don't have to make it for the president leaving. You've never done that before, have you?
No, we have, well, Sunil, no, I think we did it for Sunil maybe.
Okay. Well, I
Maybe.
think he should just come. And,
Okay,
you
so
know,
we're
I
gonna
don't think he wants
celebrate,
the
we're gonna
attention on him.
celebrate our 35th anniversary, but I think we have to make it a hybrid meeting because members of our former members, I think of somebody like Milton, who's in Latin America, or other people who I know who are in the Middle East. We
Or
could
if it's
do-
at a restaurant or a Harrigan, I don't know how the internet's going to be up on the newspaper or
Well, if
wherever.
you want to have former
Yeah.
members or former
We can
presidents.
do a streaming. We can do a streaming of this meeting, and with the
I want to enjoy
streaming,
my night and
direct
drink. I don't want to look at the
streaming,
computer.
we can, Ishan, you help us with the streaming to set it up. And that can be
Why don't
in
we
a
just
restaurant,
post
also
on YouTube
hybrid.
afterwards? Take some pictures and we'll post them. Okay.
Well, I think that kind of defeats the purpose if we're trying to celebrate, you know, who has been on board with Toastmasters and who have been presidents, et cetera, et cetera. I think the most important thing is by the next meeting, we should decide on a date. Okay, because
We will, I'm willing to get together with Nicole and Melanie, and
And
we come
me,
up with a
and me,
proposal.
and
Yeah?
me.
And you too,
And you,
Maria Teresa,
Maria
we'll throw some
Teresa?
dates out there. Let's make
Okay.
some suggestions for dates. By even with each other in an email.
Okay,
Yeah.
we could do it at the end of October because the club officially chartered in October of 1986.
Yeah, but we can do it earlier for the weather's sake, to be outside. Nobody
Yes.
wants to sit inside with this COVID
Yeah.
starting again in October. So my proposal would be September. September is still beautiful. It's before the harvest. And you
Mid-September.
have more opportunities.
By
Mid-September.
Mid-September, 15th of September.
And then the actual date of the anniversary, Maria Teresa, we can do something internal at one of
I'm
the
just
Toastmasters.
thinking about getting these people who have been in the club and active and president, et cetera, by then. That's going to be a big, big task.
It's an
Yeah, but
invitation.
you can get them.
Finding
you
out
can-
where they
All right,
are.
can
where
we-
their
I'm
email
sorry.
addresses are.
I'm
Let's-
sorry to
let's
interrupt.
not-
Can we
let's
leave
not-
this for the committee to discuss because we still
Yeah,
have
because
points
that's
and I
not
have
a-
to go
yeah.
soon?
Good point.
So-
That's not a problem. Maria Teresa, that's not a problem. That problem will solve. So that's not a
Yeah.
problem.
I'm looking at the calendar. 14th of September is a Tuesday.
Let's try and see that between us because like Gordana says, she's got to go and we have other points. That we'll see between the 4 of us.
Okay. So the next point is mentoring issues, including assignment for new members.
Yes,
I'll
I
be
would
quite
like.
honest. Go ahead, Ines.
I would like to be very practical with the mentoring program. Last time we said that we would like to have an overview. Who's mentoring whom, by whom, was the mentee, was the mentor. But very practical. We have new members on board, and one of them is David. David has to start. I spoke to him. He has to start with this program. Who can be assigned as a mentor to David?
He's my mentee. He's my mentee.
He is.
Theoretically.
I
never
am so
heard from
sorry,
him.
Nicole. I'm sorry. Then, okay. I will get back to him.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Ines, maybe you misunderstood me at the last committee meeting. I said I would like to see an actual mentoring program in place. Just having somebody assigned as your mentor isn't enough. We have to get people as mentors doing their jobs and people as mentees understanding what they're going to get from the mentor. And I don't think that's clear in both directions.
Maria-Theresa, if you would like to do a separate meeting where we could talk about the roles of a mentee and maybe you could give us some tips. That would be great. Maybe you could just call a meeting.
Definitely. Because
that's a whole subject of its own.
Believe it or not, you know, the mentoring is not just about showing people how to give speeches and telling them about pathways. I have lots of people that ask me questions about Easy Speak. You know,
Yeah.
How do I sign up to give a speech? How do I take a role? How do I do this? That's also part of mentoring. How do I add my contact information? How do I update? How do I put my picture?
So we could have a little training course if you could do that. So
Yeah,
let's plan a date for that.
I'd love to.
Okay.
By the way, Ines, maybe you're not so familiar with Easy Speak, but there's a chart that lists all of the mentors and mentees.
I've seen it.
Okay, all right, fine.
I've seen it.
Okay.
Okay, that's a work in progress. We'll leave that open, Gordana. Let's move on because it is, we are at work, some of us, and we really can't stay too much longer.
Let's move on.
Okay,
Distinguished
so next
Club
one
Program.
is Distinguished Club Program.
Gordana, do you know how to share a screen?
I do, but we have only one more point.
Okay, all right, let's forget the Distinguished Club Program. Okay, we could do that next time.
All right, and the last message is condolence message for Krista Wenzel.
Other than Melanie and Tom, nobody got back to me about their opinions on that. So
Go for it, upload it, it's beautiful. It's really, it's what you wrote is perfect. I mean, it's been so long now that she's passed. I think we just do it and
yes, absolutely.
Let her rest in peace.
Absolutely, absolutely. By the way, I came across a picture of her. When we find this famous place to put it on the G drive, can I maybe do that? It's a lovely picture of her.
Good, very good.
Okay.
And last one, any other business?
I'm just grateful that you all showed up and make such a impact and have a lot, you know, of great ideas. So let's keep this going. And Gordana, you'll send us everything. And if we start out like this, my God, we're already ahead of the game. So it's a work in progress, and we're going to keep going a little bit more each time. Any ideas? Let's all be open to each other, respect, and you know, let's keep all the drama away.
I just have a quick question. So for the recording now, is it automatically going on our account, or should I upload it somewhere on the drive, or is it just for my purposes?
It's up to you guys. I mean, do you want to just keep it on Easy Speak as a link? Do you even want it? We have the
I think it's a good idea to have it recorded and kept.
It's probably being recorded on Tristan's PC because he probably recorded it locally. So he will then, I guess the typical procedure until now was that he sent the file to Melanie and she
I'll text him and tell him to put the link on Easy Speak, okay?
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Good.
All right, I'll send you the notes. Not today, probably, but this week.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, everybody.
On that note,
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, see
Enjoy
you
the
next
rest of the
Tuesday.
afternoon.
See you next Tuesday.
Likewise.
Bye. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone. Thanks for showing up.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye. Asan, what do you think of this crowd?
Yeah,